So children, do you remember what was the last topic? Yes, the last topic was fractions. We have completed that chapter, chapter number 7. And children, as your exams are approaching, so we don't have much time to waste. We are going to use this week only to do the syllabus, okay? And after that, we are going to go with the revision part. We have already circulated the syllabus with the date sheets. So start preparing for your exams now, okay? And now we are going to start with one new chapter, that is chapter number 8, decimals, right? And after doing this chapter, from 1st of September, from 1st to 15th September, sorry, from 1st to 14th September, because 15th, on 15th your exams are starting. So from 1st to 14th September, we are going to go with revision part, okay? There will be more online classes, then there will be vivas, there will be tests, okay? So be ready for the test and start preparing for your exams. And now let's come to chapter number 8, and the name of the chapter is decimals. What is the name of the chapter? Decimals. You have already learned decimals in 5th standard, right? So again we are going to repeat that chapter, and first of all let us start with the definition of decimal. Can anybody tell me what is a decimal? Yes, a fraction in which the denominator is 10, 100, 1000 and so on is called a decimal. Suppose you have a number, you have a fraction 2 by 10. So this 2 by 10 is a decimal. Why 2 by 10 is a decimal? Because we can write this 2 by 10 is equal to 0.2. So here we have put a decimal. So 2 by 10 is a decimal fraction, right? And this 0.2 is a decimal number, okay? So that is how we have to write down the decimals, okay, in fraction and in decimal numbers. Now, if I talk about tenth, so let us take a piece of paper and divide, or we can say a piece of a strip, and you have to divide that strip into 10 equal parts. Here I have divided this strip in 10 equal parts. Now, this is the shaded part here, okay? So, the fraction of the shaded part will be equal to 1 by 10. Fraction of the shaded part will be equal to 1 by 10 because only one part is shaded and total number of parts are 10. So 1 by 10 is the decimal fraction here, and we can write this 1 by 10 as 0.1. So this 0.1 is the decimal number, okay? And what about this point? This point is called decimal point. This point is called decimal point, right? Now if two parts are shaded here, then the fraction will be, if two parts are shaded, then the fraction of the shaded parts will be equal to 2 by 10, and which is equal to 0.2, right? Then this 2 by 10 will be decimal fraction and 0.2 will be decimal number, right? Likewise, if I talk about hundreds, so in hundreds, there will be 10 rows and 10 columns, right? And if suppose one part is shaded here, then the fraction of shaded part will be 1 by 100 because only one part is shaded and the total number of parts are 100 here. So 1 by 100, how can we write this 1 by 100 as a decimal number? We can write it as 0.01. Okay, we will write it as 0.01. And if suppose there are 5 parts shaded, then the fraction will be 5 by 100, right? And the decimal number will be equal to 0.05. Okay, the numerator will come here, right? and these two zeros. In 100 there are two zeros. It means after decimal there will be two digits, right? Here in 10 there is only one zero. In 10 there is one zero. So after decimal number, after decimal point, there will be only one digit. Okay. So this was about decimal. And to understand it in a better way, I am going to attach a clip. So let's enjoy this clip now.
How can Jack write his height as a number? At the end of this lesson, you should be able to state why a decimal point is required and it's important in the decimal system. Represent decimals on number line. Convert fractions as decimals. Convert decimals as fractions. Martin has a bat which is 90 centimeters and 4 millimeters long. Help Martin convert his bat length into centimeters. We know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. Or 1 millimeter is equal to 1 by 10 centimeters, which makes 4 mm as 4 by 10 centimeters. So, length of a bat in centimeters is 94 by 10 centimeters. How can this number be represented? We are familiar with whole numbers like 1258, 734, 596. Let us take an example. 1258 can be expressed in terms of 10. So it has a 1000, 2 hundreds, 5 tens, and 8 ones. Look at the pattern as we move right. Each position is 10 times smaller than the earlier one. What will happen if we continue to move right? If we continue to divide further by 10, we get fractions 1 by 10, 1 by 100, etc. How do we separate the whole numbers from the fractions? We need to use a dot to know where the unit position is. This dot is called decimal point, and the number with the decimal point is called a decimal number. Let us now try to represent the length of Martin's bat using decimal notation. Substituting the values in the place table and using the concept of decimal, we get length of the bat as 90.4 centimeters. Mr. Matthews has to write a check to pay his mobile phone bill. The amount to be paid is rupees 1,349 and 5 paise. How would Mr. Matthews write this amount in rupees? 1 rupee is equal to 100 paise, which means 1 paisa is equal to 1 by 100 rupee, which means 5 paise is 5 by 100 rupee. So, the money Mr. Matthews has to pay is 1,349 plus 5 by 100. How can we write it using a decimal point? Let us place the numbers in the place value table. Since we do not have any number for 1/10, we put 0 for tenths in the place value table. Reading the values from the place value table, we get the amount of Mr. Matthews' check in decimal notation as rupees 1,349.05 paise. We have till now converted fractions with denominator 10 into decimals. Let us now try to convert other fractions into decimals. For converting to decimal notation, the denominator should be 10. Therefore, we need to convert the fraction 12 by 5 into an equivalent fraction with denominator as 10. If we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 2, we get an equivalent fraction which has 10 as the denominator. 24 by 10 can also be written as 20 plus 4 by 10 or 20 by 10 plus 4 by 10. Putting it in place value table, we get the fraction in decimal notation as 2.4. How do we convert a decimal into a fraction? Let us convert 3.8 as a fraction. For this, we need to first represent it in the place value table. From the place value table, we find that 3.8 is equal to 3 times ones and 8 times tens. This can also be written as 30 by 10 plus 8 by 10, which is equal to 38 by 10. Is this the simplest form of the fraction? 2 is the common factor for both the numerator and denominator. So dividing by 2, we get the fraction is in its simplest form, which is 19 by 5. Let us try representing decimals on a number line. To understand this, we start with the decimal 0.8. It is more than 0 and less than 1. So we divide the number line between 0 and 1 into 10 equal parts. The 8 point between 0 and 1 is the place for 0.8 on the number line.
I hope the concept of decimals and representing decimals on number line and the concept of tens is clear to you all. Okay, so now children, exercise 8.1 we are not going to do, but the topics related to exercise 8.1 were already there in the clip. Now we are going to start with exercise 8.2. So 8.2 is based on the topic hundredths. Here we will discuss about hundredths. And question number 1 and question number 2 of exercise 8.2 you have to do in book itself and you will try to do yourself. Okay. Now let us start with question number 3. What is the question number 3? Write the following decimals in the place value table. This is the place value table if we are talking about hundreds and thousands. Right? So first of all we write hundreds, tens, ones, then tenth. After decimal, which place comes? After decimal, tenths come. Then hundredth, then thousand. Okay? So here the A part is 0.29. We have to write this 0.29 in this table. So how we will write? See, here on ones place there is 0. So we will write the 0 on ones place. And then on 10th place we have this 2. So we will write 2 here. On 100th place we have this 9. So we will write 9 here. Okay. After that 2.08. So point, this 2 is on ones place. So this 2 will be here. Then 0 is on 10th place. 8 is on 100th place. After that 19.60. So this 9 is on ones place and 1 is on 10th place. Then 6 is on 10th place and 0 is on 100th place. After that 148.32. It means this 1 is on 100th place, 4 is on 10th place, 8 is on 1st place, 3 is on 10th place and 2 is on 100th place. Right? After that 200.812. So again 2 is on 100 place, 0, 0, 8, 1 and 2. Okay. So that is how we have to write these decimals in place value table. Right? Now let's come to next question of this exercise. Now the next question is question number 4. Write each of the following as decimals. So here A part is 20 plus 9 plus 4 by 10 plus 1 by 100. So children, 20 plus 9 is 29 plus, how can we write 4 by 10 as decimal number? 4 by 10 will be equal to 0.4 and 1 by 100 will be equal to 0.01. Now we can add these. How do we add the decimals? 29 plus 0.4. So 0 will be here 0.4. Then 0.01. 0.01. Now we will add them. Here it will be 14.92. So the answer is 29.41. Okay. Or one more method is there. 20 plus 9 is 29. And if it is on 10th place, then obviously this 4 will come after decimal. So you can write it directly. Then 1 by 100. 100 is on 100th place. So you can write it after 4. Okay. But this is the best method because in your exam, if this kind of question comes, then you have to write all the steps. First of all, you will write in decimal numbers and then you will add. Right? Then let's come to B part. 137 plus 5 by 100. 5 by 100 means 0.05. Now we can add them. 137 plus 0.05 and which is equal to 137.05. Okay. Now let's come to C part. 7 by 10 means 0.7. 6 by 100 is 0.06. 4 by 1000 is 0.004. Now we can add them. 0.7, 0.06, 0.004. Okay. So 0 plus 4 is 4. 6 plus 0 is 6. 7 plus 0 is 7. It means 0.764 is the answer. Right? So this question is done. Rest of the two parts you will try to do yourself. Now let's come to next question. Then the next question is write each of the following decimals in words. Here we have given decimal numbers and we have to write in words. So how we will write? We will write it as 0.03. Okay. And it will be written as 1.20. Okay. And then we have 108. 108.56. 0.56. It is very easy to write in words. Now, the next three parts you will try to do yourself. Now, let's come to next question. Now, the next question is between which two numbers in tens place on the number line does each of the given number lie? We have given these numbers and we have to tell that between which two numbers on the number line this number will lie. कौन से दो numbers के बीच में ये number lie करेगा number line पर. Okay? It is 0.06. तो ये 0.06 है तो 0 से तो बड़ा है और 1 से छोटा है. So it will lie in between 0 and 1. So we will write here 0 and 1. Right? Then we have 0.45. 0.45. 0.45 is greater than 0.40 and it is less than 0.50. So it will lie in between 0.40 and 0.50. इनके बीच में lie करेगा 0.45. Then we have 0.19. 0.19. 19 is greater than 10, right? And it is less than 20. So it will lie in between 0.10 and 0.20. Okay? And rest of the parts again you will try to do yourself. Now let's come to last question of this exercise. Now the next question is write as fractions in lowest terms. Now we have given the decimal numbers. First of all we will write them in decimal fractions and then we will convert into lowest term or we can say simplest form. So let us start. 0.60 is equal to 60 by 100. Okay. Now, as we all know, this 60 and this 100 both are divisible by 10. So, 10 6s are 60 and 10 10s are 100. Now, this 6 and 10 again both are divisible by 2. So, 2 3s are 6 and 2 5s are 10. Now, let's come to B part. 0.05. 5 by 100. Now, this 5 and this 100 both are divisible by 5. So, 5 1s are 5 and 5 20s are 100. 25s are 100 now. So, now let's come to C part. 0.75. It means 75 by 100. 75 by 100. Now, this 75 by 100, these both 75 and 100 both are divisible by 25. So 25 3s are 75 and 25 4s are 100. So 3 by 4 is the simplest form. And if I talk about D part, 0.18 is equal to 18 by 100. Now this 18 and 100 both are divisible by 2. 2 9s are 18 and 2 50s are 100. So this is the way to write down the decimal numbers into fractions and then to write the fractions into lowest term. Right? So children, we have completed this exercise. So that's all for today, children. Thank you so much. Goodbye.